Alright, hey guys, so good evening and welcome to Unacademy. I hope I am audible and visible to all of you here. So, first of all, to begin with, a very happy new year to all of you. Hope you all are well and your families are well too. Wishing you a healthy and successful year ahead. Now, moving on further with the discussion over here, guys. Furthermore, in order to make sure that the new learners can make the most of the opportunity, so here we come up with Resolve 2022. You can kickstart your journey to crack the examination in 2022 and you can get 22% off on all Unacademy subscriptions using educators code. You can use any of your favorite educators code or mine. My code is S Sharma 10, SSHARMA and 10. Right, so that is my code over here. The offer has been extended up till the 5th of January, so make sure you guys make the most of it. Also, if you look at the benefits, so you'll be able to save up to rupees 13 to 17,000 on a 1-year subscription, between rupees 18,000 to 26,000 on a 2-year subscription, and between rupees 22 to 34,000 for a 3-year subscription. All right. Moving on further, guys, we've had a couple of rank holders in the year 2000. 1920s examination, and you can be the next one, so make sure you make the most of the opportunity right at your hand. Going on further, guys, new UPSC CSE batches are to go live now, right? It is going to begin on the 5th of January. Also, you have batches curated for 2022 and 2023, which are mission batches, which are bilingual, Lakshya batches, which are to be held in Hindi, and expedition batches, which are going to be the English batches essentially. Along with that, a set of 20 GS books curated as per the latest trend of UPSC are now available, only with 1 year and above GS and combo subscriptions only. Books are available in Hindi and English medium as per the learner's preference, whatever you want, right? Also, as you already know, we have combats every week. So UPSC CSE combat is going to be held this Sunday on the 9th of January at 11 a.m. wherein you'll be given 56 questions and 60 minutes time to answer the same. You stand a chance to win scholarship from a pool of rupees 4 crores. You can have 100%, a 75%, 50 or 25% scholarship depending upon what rank you get. You can again enroll for the same for absolutely free, right? Using my code SSharma10. Moving on further, guys, you can accomplish your mission with Unacademy. You can level up your UPSC preparation with the iconic subscription, wherein you can avail the benefits of one-on-one live mentoring, wherein personalized learning experience with subject experts would be provided. You can also get access to study planner and mains question answers practice, customized study plan with bi-weekly review, and strengthen your mains answer writing. Then open house with educators, get to interact with our top educators with Unacademy open house. Furthermore, don't let finances stop you from achieving your dream. You can avail loan facilities wherein you can get instant loan at 0% interest rate, no processing fee, flexible tenures, and minimal paperwork, right? So you can avail any of these things over here, right? Now, going on further, done with the announcements, let's get to discussing the topic for today, right? So today's topic is going to be Delhi Sultanate. I hope you remember we had been discussing the same in the previous session as well. That is where we had been discussing, right? So today we are going to quickly brush up with that because I'm pretty sure you must have forgotten most of the things here. So I'm going to take the discussion up from there in the session over here, right? So let's get going. Is this clear to everyone? Alright, first of all, in case anybody has any doubts from anything covered previously, please feel free to ask me whatever doubts you have. Any doubts from previously covered topics? If you have a doubt, please ask me right away. I'm looking at the comment section for your doubts. Let me know right away. I've also shared my referral code over there. I'm just writing in my referral code. Any doubts, guys? Abhishek, amongst all the other things that you will be mentioning over there, right? So you can be talking about different travelers and their accounts, right? Because how will it be important for us? That's what we have to see here, right? So you can talk about the different kinds of travelers who visited, different kinds of accounts that had been prepared, and what kind of things we are taking from there. Just a Shahnama vagera, it's all in Persian, right? So you can mention those as well, right? So that can be those can be the things that you can mention in your answer, right? Is that clear? Right. Also, since this is going to be pertinent to what impact it has had on our history or something, or what we have derived from it, so that is going to be mostly to be answered in that perspective, right? So you can answer it in that perspective, keeping in mind how or what significance it holds for us, right? Chaliye. So guys, let's quickly continue with the discussion over here now. So we'll quickly brush up through the Delhi Sultanate so that we can move on further. Also, we will be covering the Mughal Empire after this, right? So just so that you know, we'll be covering the Mughal Empire after this. We will be talking about all the rulers one by one. I'll try to cover it in a chronological sequence so that you remember and understand better. Now, quickly talking about the timeline of the Delhi Sultanate, which was ruling between 1206 to 1526. It began in the year 1200 with the slave dynasty, right? So 1200, like after who died? Muhammad Khan, who died like after which the slave dynasty began? Batao. So basically, like Muhammad Ghori ki death ke baad mein, like he had placed Qutbuddin Aibak in Delhi, right? So that is how it came into being, right? So exactly that is when it happened. So after Muhammad Ghori died, right? So Muhammad Ghori ki death ke baad, like the one, very good Abhishek. So he had placed Qutbuddin Aibak as his, we can say, deputy there, right? So he was there, and that is when after the death he assumed the leadership, or he became the king, or whatever you'd want to call it at that era, Sultan, right? So the slave dynasty was the first one. Now all these dynasties will not be ruling for a very long time span. Ab khud sochiye, it's in a foreign country wherein different rulers will keep on emerging from one time to the other. There are already pre-existing issues that are there. Yes, absolutely correct, right? So basically now what will happen, धीरे धीरे से क्या होगा, हर एक डायनेस्टी को डिफरेंट लोगों से, राइट अभिषेक, दे विल बी हैविंग थ्रेट्स फ्रॉम डिफरेंट एरियाज. कहीं पर मराठाज विल बी डूइंग अ सर्टन थिंग, दे विल बी रिवोल्टिंग, द राजपूत्स विल गेट टुगेदर एंड विल बी रिवोल्टिंग. सो दिस इज नॉट वन ऑफ द पीसफुल टाइम्स, it's turbulent, right? So the dynasties will come for 100 years, 20 years, 30 years, they'll be ruling like that. The stable dynasty that we see from the Gupta, like after the Gupta era, is going to be the Mughals. Beach mein it was all very, very transient. Now when we speak about the slave dynasty that will be there, which will be succeeded or overthrown by the Khilji dynasty, similarly thrown by the Tughlaq dynasty, by the Sayyid dynasty, by the Lodi dynasty, right? So ये एक ही area को control करने की कोशिश है, and multiple dynasties will come and go in the the tryst of destiny or time, whatever you'd want to call it. Now let's begin with the slave sultans. They are called as the slave sultans because they were either slaves or the sons of slaves who became sultans, right? So that is how it was talked about. Hi Inayat, welcome to the session. I really like your name. Very beautiful name. Now talking about the Delhi Sultanate, we've just begun talking about it here, right? So you're just in time. We are just going to be what do we say, like brushing it up here. So जो हमारे slave sultans थे, they ruled between 1206 to 1290, right? Now आपको कभी भी पूछ सकते हैं कि जो स्लेव डायनेस्टी है उसका दूसरा नाम क्या था. ये मामलुक डायनेस्टी के नाम से भी जानी जाती है. इट इज़ पॉपुलरली रेफर्ड टू एज द मामलुक डायनेस्टी. द मामलुक्स वर द अर्लीस्ट रूलर्स ऑफ द दिल्ली सल्तनत. दे आर ऑल्सो नोन एज द स्लेव किंग्स बिकॉज मेनी ऑफ देम वर आइदर स्लेव्स और वर द सन्स ऑफ स्लेव्स एंड बिकेम सुल्तान्स. The first of the slave kings was Qutbuddin Aibak, who was the general of Muhammad Ghori. After the death of Ghori, Qutbuddin stayed in India and established his kingdom. The ruler of Ghazni tried to annex the territory held by Qutbuddin, but he failed. When Iltutmish succeeded Qutbuddin as Sultan, a separate kingdom was established in the northern portion or part of India, which is namely called as the Delhi Sultanate. Now, over a period of time, the sultans of Delhi extended their control up to Bengal in the east and Sindh in the west. Right? That is how they began with this. Right? Now, moving on further, during the Sultanate period, there was the problem of local Indian rulers who had been conquered, right? Sultans had taken up territories of some rulers and some others were allowed to keep it. आपको पता होगा इस टाइम पर वो ट्रिब्यूट का कॉन्सेप्ट था, right? So, जो rulers, they used to submit to their supremacy, agreed to pay certain tribute to the dynasty which was ruling Delhi for that matter. So, they used to let them keep their territory and rule in their name or in, as their deputies. So, that's how it went. Also, the ones who revolted outrightly, they went into battles, they either won or lost, right? So that's what happened. Now, Sultanate had also problems from the northwest, for example. Now, what is happening? इनको Indian front पे problem है, लेकिन जो north western frontier है, जैसे कि अफगानिस्तान वाला area, वहाँ पर इनको और भी pressure है, because ultimately they were people from there, and now they are having expeditions which are being led by those local leaders in the northwestern portion, and then they are trying to, overthrow these people here. So, Sultanate had also problems from the northwest. For example, the rulers of Afghanistan were quiet, but the Mongol people of Central Asia were led by Genghis Khan, which kept on making fresh conquests. So, ये लोग अभी शांत होते थे, फिर conquest हो जाती थी, फिर होता था, फिर like people like the Mongols which were there, right? So that is their, that was the area wherein we are talking about here, right? Now, Mongolia, वहाँ के लोग Mongols होते हैं, right? Now, they were leading a lot of expeditions, right? So, that is what happened, right? Now, the Sultan Iltutmish had faced the administrative problems. Now, these kind of issues will definitely come in because he's ruling a very big territory. He was a slave who assumed the title of Sultan. He will definitely not have the approval of everybody, right? And you will see आगे जाकर ये जो पहले क्या होता था, the king was absolute. Now, the king's council is also becoming important. कुछ rulers के time पर उसे चालीसा बोलेंगे, कुछ rulers के time पर उसको, it will be called as the assembly or anything like that. So those people, ministry समझ लो आप आज के context में, they had started to play a very very important role, and sometimes they sided the king, sometimes they did not, and sometimes they also led to overthrowing conquests and stuff like that. So whatever different kinds of things were going on, they had administrative implications and stemmed from administrative issues as well. So the Sultan Iltutmish had faced the administrative problems. However, when he died, his daughter Razia became the Sultan and she had to face the problems. Now you're talking about what? You're talking about early 1200s, 1206 से start हुआ है. Razia Sultan becoming the Sultan as a woman in that time would not be very well taken by the different kinds of administrative setups. It was not welcome, and a lot of planning and plotting and all those things were done, right? So she could not rule for a very long span of time. She tried but couldn't happen. Now what happened after this, when we get to the next important Sultan of the era, so after Iltutmish, so basically Razia Sultan जो है, she will not be able to rule for a very long span of time, right? So जैसे कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक भी हैं, वो Iltutmish से succeeded him, and then Razia came in, and then Razia was also not able to rule for a very long time. अच्छा, अगर आपसे कोई पूछे कि कुतुब मीनार जो है वो किसने बनाई है, so what will be your answer? Who has made the Qutub Minar, or rather who started the building of Qutub Minar? Who started building the Qutub Minar, guys? This is very simple. Even if we look at the name, we should know who built the Qutub Minar. Who is responsible or who is associated with the Qutub Minar, guys? Batao. Very good, Abhishek. So that was the catch that I was going to ask you guys about. Yes, that is true that Qutbuddin Aibak had started the building of your Qutub Minar, but it was Iltutmish who had completed it. ये बहुत बार पूछ लेते हैं. Initially कम floors थे, बाद में कोई और आके floor add भी करने वाला है कुतुब मीनार पे. So कोई अभी बता सकता है, या we'll get to that when we discuss that. Do you know who added the top floor to the Qutub Minar? Anybody? नहीं, कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक ने तो तारीख स्टार्ट किया था. No problem, Abhishek, it's perfectly fine. Who added the top floor to the Qutub Minar? If you don't know, we have a session tomorrow also at 5 o'clock. So let me know in tomorrow's session then who started it. Find out today, right? I think you're right. All right. Chaliye. Now going on further. Now after Iltutmish, the next important sultan was Balban. Balban को हम next important sultan क्यों मानते हैं? Because he was the one who was able to rule, right? Razia Sultan को तो they hardly, like, she was not able to hold power for a very long time. She hardly made it. Now, a strong and iron-willed sultan, he was more successful in solving the problems that his predecessors had defended the sultanate from the attacks of Mongols, right? Now, very importantly, I'll tell you one thing. So now talking about like a very important thing from Balban's aspect is Balban was a part of the Chalisa. Chalisa क्या था? Chalisa was the you can say the council of 40 people who was there. Balban did not come from royal blood, was not anywhere related to the sultan. He had assumed the title of sultan, right? Basically, he had killed all the others, right? 39 Chalisa members ko he had killed and was the only one remaining, and that is how he's very famous for his different kinds of iron and fist policies and all those things. He's been one of the most cruel, can say very strict and staunch kind of a ruler from this particular dynasty. Balban fought against the local rulers who troubled him. His biggest problem was that the nobles who had become very powerful and were threatening to the position of sultan, slowly but firmly Balban broke their power, broke half of them initially, and finally the position of sultan became all important. Now आप देखेंगे early ages में या medieval India में कहीं पर भी आप देखोगे तो एक बड़ी important चीज़ है. Once you start talking about this thing कि the ruler, the king, sultan, raja, जो भी आप बोलना चाहते हो, whenever the ruler is going to be equated with God or something similar to that, right? So whenever you're going to place the ruler on a pedestal and give him important or divine powers or anything that makes him godlike, that is how the ruler has been very easily able to sustain the kingdom, right? So Balban's success was integrated to his strategic administrative policy. He successfully changed the organization of army and curbed the revolt of the nobles, right? Now Balban encouraged people to do sajda in his presence. Sajda was like bowing down, right? So sajda means people had to kneel and touch the ground with their forehead in salutation to him. That is Balban. So basically वो सजदा तो people do for God. So this is what he thought. जैसे मत्था टेकना होता है ना मंदिर में normally, या सजदा होता है जब आप किसी मुस्लिम श्राइन पे जाते हो, वैसे he was like कि आप मेरा ही सजदा करने लग जाओ. He basically made himself equivalent to God and that was the way to rule. पहले वाले ज़माने में राजा अपने आप को भगवान के जैसे मानने लग जाते थे, या they used to inculcate such faiths. यहाँ पर भी इन्होंने ये कर दिया है. So this is like one of the policies wherein they've seen कि once you equate a ruler to God or put him on an equal footing, people will follow no matter what, right? Now sajda was something that was not taken very well by the Orthodox Muslims because they were like, there is one God, only one God, and one should not do sajda for anybody else but God, right? So sajda horrified the Orthodox Muslims, but according to Muslim belief, like all men are equal and therefore no one should do sajda before anyone else except God, right? So that was the issue over here. That is something that got him into a lot of trouble as well. Now I will conclude the discussion for today here only. Tomorrow I will start with the Khilji Sultans, right? So now Balban was overthrown by Khiljis. Then we'll talk about Khilji. Khilji is a very important aspect here, especially Alauddin Khilji. We'll talk about his different kinds of his quests and other things. We'll try to talk about it in a story like fashion so as to make it interesting for you people as well, right? So that is all about it. Now I will be, yes, blood and iron policy was his only. I will continue with the discussion in tomorrow's session now, guys, right? So that will be all for today. There was a technical issue with my OBS streaming today, so that is why the session got late. Tomorrow's session will be as per schedule at 5 o'clock. Maximum 5:15 pe we'll begin, right? So those of you who want to cover the medieval history with stories here can join in every day at 5:15 or like around 5ish we'll begin the session, right? So that will be all for the session over here for today then, guys, right? That will be all for today's session over here. Thank you so much for attending this session over here. I hope you guys have understood everything clearly. In case you still have a doubt with respect to anything, please feel free to reach out to me at any point of time. So on that note, guys, study well, revise well, and take care. Stay safe, take care of yourselves and your family members, and I hope you guys have a great day ahead. Enjoy yourselves, take care, and make the most of your time. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.